Hi, this is Lynne Jacob, founder of MLJ Coaching International and author of the 7 Simple Strategies for Success. Now, I just started talking about strategy number 5, which is to find, hire, train, and retain them, to lead an all-star team. And I was talking about training. I'm telling you, I can't talk enough about that for people to really get it ingrained in them, the investment that they make on the training. I actually help my clients look at what is it that will tell you that this was a successful partnership with me for me to work with your employee. And so we become very clear on that. What is it? It's a number. And by reaching that number or getting close to that number, whatever that is, when we have a number to focus on, then that helps your employee when they're getting the training or the coaching, as I do. And yes, of course, there's definitely a factor of training in there, but it helps the employee who's up-leveling him or herself to reach this bar that you've now set for them, gives them a benchmark, gives them a goal to reach. And this we focus on every week in our coaching sessions. And it also gives you, the business owner, proof that this employee has gotten to that place you need them to get to, and then you'll know what next needs to happen. And it also gives you proof as to whether or not this, partnership with me or with whomever you're working, whether or not that was a successful partnership, a successful relationship, whether it be training or coaching or whatever it might be. So that's the most important thing, is for you to know, to be able to measure for all of our goals, but especially in this one that I'm talking about, training your employees. Okay, so we've got this key employee who just wasn't performing. So now I'm not talking about the same one as I did in the earlier video about training where I talked about Steve, but let's just use another one for example. So let's say this person isn't getting the results that you need from them. So, my clients will hire me to work with that person. And it's amazing how the person, as I say, was kind of thrown into this position. Well, they kind of saw the perks of the position, the employee did, when you offered it to them. So they go, yeah, sure. But they didn't understand. They didn't know what they didn't know, let's say, about being that leader or that supervisor or that department manager. And they get into it, and the best way to get into anything is to just dive right in, right? Dive right into the middle and then, find your way around. But we need help navigating the way. And so when we're working together, all of these people I've worked with over the years are great technicians, great technicians. And then what happens mainly for them is that they will step in when they're not getting the jobs done, things aren't done to the satisfaction of themselves, to the satisfaction of the company in order to reach the profits that they need to reach. And they step in and they do it themselves. Why? Because they're a great technician. Now, I'm not saying keep them at the technician's level at all, because they're great and you want them to impart that knowledge onto your newer people coming in. So these people need help to transition from being the technician to being the leader, the mentor, the person who's been there, done that, and can help these people do that a heck of a lot faster. So when we're talking about training here, that's basically the training that I'm talking about when it comes to your key employees, is they need to learn how to be a teacher. They need to learn how to communicate better. They need to learn how to foster better relationships, and especially the construction industry that I so love dearly. A lot of these guys aren't, really focusing on relationships. Of course, they all have relationships, but they're not the touchy-feely relationships that the newest generation needs in order for them to blossom. And so that's another thing that we're working on when I'm working with people like this, is helping them understand these young people that they're training. So I could go on and on here, but the biggest thing is that if you're not training the people who you're putting into new positions, you're not going to retain them. So when we talk about train and retain them, that's the purpose, isn't it? You've invested a lot in this technician already. You've invested a lot in putting this technician into a supervisory or leadership capacity. Well, now let's invest in making sure that this guy has the tools in his tool belt that he needs, because it's a very different tool belt today. We don't want him, when they get under pressure, to be frustrated, maybe yelling at people, or maybe just withdrawing completely, going back in and just doing it all himself. You know, that really ticks off the new people who he's trying to train, because they're saying he won't even trust us to do it. You know, we don't know how to do it, but then he doesn't trust us well enough to teach us how to do it. He just goes in and does it for us. So if you have any of these challenges with your new leaders in your company, then let's talk about it. It's Lynne Jacob of MLJ Coaching International, where I want to help you lead an all-star team. Talk soon.